one-run game until the end, then you have a base running mistake that kind of costs you in a big situation.
Well, I go beyond the base running mistake. We've got to get that bunt down. Threw a strike for the first pitch, we took it. Next pitch was an easily buntable pitch, and we don't get the ball down. Yes, there was a base running mistake that cost us, but I'm more concerned with we've got to get that ball down right there. We got the heart of the lineup coming up, and we've got an opportunity to score the run. And I've got two relievers sitting down there waiting for us to be in a tie game or a lead. So that's what it came down to for me, is we've got to tie that game up. And at that point, then I think we've got 2 to 3 innings where we can hold our own and try and score a run. We've got more power than they do. So we're looking at one swing, and they're looking at, hey, let's wait and get to the back end of the bullpen. So at that point, we've got a better opportunity to win the ball game, and we didn't get the bunt down.
What did you think of Ryan Lillie tonight? I mean, it ends up being a 6-1 game, but it was really tight throughout, and he gives you 7 innings. When, I don't know, what did you kind of expect coming into tonight for him? What was kind of the ideal, situation for him pitching?
Well, I think we got exactly what we wanted. I mean, he goes 7 innings and gives up 2 runs, both in the first inning, and I'm sure he was, a little bit, I don't know how to say, nervous being a start against Fullerton, and he hasn't had a lot of experience with starting, but I think he did a fantastic job and kept us in a ball game late, and unfortunately, we didn't swing the bats the way we should have today.
What was the conversation with him when you went out in the first inning with him having the bases loaded there?
I just told him to go back to the reliever mentality of let's go every inning one at a time instead of trying to think so far ahead. Sometimes he lets himself start thinking too far ahead and starts trying to be more of a pitcher than just going out there and dominating. And once he got to the point where he was pitching off of his fastball, he did really well.
He said he was dealing with a blister tonight. Being a pitcher, you've been through situations like that. How do you get someone to deal with a situation like that? And he actually had his bust open and everything.
Every pitcher's different. Ryan Lillie is as tough as they come. And unless he was complaining to me about it, he was just going to go out there and keep pitching. And I thought he just did an amazing job tonight.
We were told that he's a little Percival Jr., and he gets made fun of because he's very similar to you and, the catcher, return pitcher, and everything else.
And his mentality out there, he hates to give up hits. He hates anybody to get on base. He hates to lose. But he just is getting better by the day. So it's fun to watch his progression. He can do things that I couldn't do. He's got 4 pitches he can throw for strikes. Heck, he was through 7 innings and under 100 pitches. So I think he's going to be very valuable to us on Saturdays.
What was the decision to move him into the rotation? You started him very beginning of the year starting, but moving back to that closer spot where he's familiar, and then this week you made the change.
Well, we just had a lot of personnel changes because we lost a very important piece when we lost Daniel Martinez, who had actually worked himself up to the Sunday starter. And when I looked at that, I thought, Haskahad is a very good pitcher, but he doesn't have the repertoire that Lillie has, and Lillie can go deeper into ball games because we lost a guy that can go out of the bullpen, or he can start when we lost Daniel Martinez and suck up a lot of innings. So it's just said, hey, we got to go with our best guys, and our best guys are Fagaldi and Lillie at this point.
With talking about injuries, you get Mark Contreras back. How different is the lineup when he's in it?
Well, it's much more dynamic because obviously we don't have a lot of speed, but when we add him out there and we've got Schultz out there, we've got at least 2 guys at the top of the lineup that can run. Sawyer can run a little bit, and it gives us a little more dynamic look. You never know if we're going to bunt, we're going to steal. When we don't have him, you pretty much understand what we're going to do. We're going to try and hit the ball out of the ballpark. So it gives us a different dynamic and opportunities as coaches to call plays.
Cameron Cannon does hit a ball out of the ballpark, his 5th home run of the season. What have you seen in his progression, as a freshman, making strides and trying to cut down strikeouts while also providing that big pop?
He's done a great job, I think. He sometimes likes to overthink a little bit, and that comes with being a freshman. So that's why I talked to him today. Is just go back to just the raw baseball. See the ball, hit the ball. Don't worry about the situations. We'll tell you what to do.
What would a series win for you guys mean for you? I think it would be your first top 10 series win. Tomorrow you got an opportunity, rubber match to take on Fullerton and potentially get that.
Well, it's always big in a conference series to win the series, but we come in now, the difference between when I got here and the difference now is we expect to win series. We expect to sweep series. Whether it's going to happen or not, it's a different story. But, number 10 team comes in here. We win game 1. We're down 2-1 in the 9th inning in game 2. The guys are starting to believe. And that's where I am with this team is I think we can beat anybody on any given day. We just got to throw strikes and play baseball.